Hey, hello guys. Hachiboye Isaac here. It's very important to look at this statistics concept defined as arithmetic mean or average denoted by X bar. So it's common to make applications of these concepts in statistics. So how do we define average or arithmetic mean? X bar is the ratio of the sum of all values. You sum all the values to that of the number of values you summed. So you sum all the values and you divide it by the number of values you summed. And then in the case of a frequency data, you will do the summation of the product of the frequency of each value divided by the number of values in the data. So how do we do that? The steps to determine mean of a data. For example, for a small size n and the unit frequency, we sum all the values, and then for a relatively large data, you will find the frequency of each of the values, and then that would require you to form a frequency distribution table. And so we can take this example, take a look at this example. These are different way questions can come under mean or arithmetic mean or average. For example, look at example 1. The question there says find the mean of the following numbers. If you look at those data, you can see that the unit of their frequency is very small. And you can also look at the example 2 where we notice that there is an example, a situation where there's an unknown value, whereas you have been given the mean value of the data. Then the last case is where you have frequency data, where values are frequently occurring in the data set. These three different examples will be approached differently, and in this video we'll look at this example very quickly. So look at the example 1. How do you find the mean of such a data? We're going to sum all those values: 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. There are 8 values there. When you sum them, you have 28. Then the number of values that you summed, which is 8. So that's 28 divided by 8, which will give us 3.5. Therefore, the average, the mean of that data, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, 8, is 3.5. In example 2, we see a situation where we have a list of a data set and there is an unknown value, x, where we need to look for the value. Meanwhile, we have been given the average to be 3.5. So all we need to do is to substitute that 3.5 into our formula, and then we solve for x. That means 3.5 will be equals to 2 plus 3 plus x plus 1.5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. That will give us 25.5 plus x equals to 3.5. So we then need to just cross multiply, which will give us 8 by 3.5. That will give us 28 equals to 25.5 plus x. And at the end of the day, if we solve that value, if we solve for x, our x will be equivalent to 2.5. These two examples are quite different from this third example where we have frequency data. In this case, you will need to form a frequency distribution table. One method to use is the method of tally, where each time you encounter a value, you represent that value with a stroke before then converting it to a frequency. As you can see in the table, you can go row wise or column wise, but for every data you see, you don't need to count it. You don't need to go through the data multiple times. Just go through the row, and for every value you see, you enter a stroke and then convert to frequency. In other words, to find our frequency, we use tally method. And then for the frequency with sum total, we see that our frequency total is 50, just right there. And then this is our frequency data at 50. And then to find the mean, recall the formula for mean for a frequency data. We have summation fx over summation f. Pardon the typographical error, it's supposed to be summation f. And then the fx is the product of the frequency by the entry value. So we have 6 times 5, that will give us 30. 7 times 10 will give us 70. We'll do that for all the entries of the values, and then we get the total. The total will then be 439. So to find the mean of this data, this will give us 439 divided by 50, which will give us 8.78. This example is quite different from the previous example and should be treated carefully when attempting such problem. Thank you very much for listening. I would have more videos on mode and median in consequent video. You can like the video if it has been helpful, subscribe to the channel, and share with those that might find this video helpful. Thank you.